Our next presenter is Andriy Zablotskyy, who will be presenting how to build an effective QC leadership program in your company. Andriy joined software testing industry 12 years ago. During this period, he transformed from trainee associate to respected QA expert, able to scope, transform, and incorporate complex business needs into software products of high quality. Andriy believes that little things make big things happen. That is why it is critical to detect each defect on test environment rather than production. Being an effective participant of QA community, he launched QA course in Polytechnic University to provide basic QA terms and share specifics of software testing industry. Please welcome Andriy. Andriy, the screen is yours to share.
Thank you. Thank you for this introduction. Hi, everyone. I'm glad to see you today, and thank you for those who are actually still online with us and have decided to connect to StreamB. I visited TestDive conference actually a few times previously, and I'm sure that next year we'll meet again with you offline in Krakow. And today I'm going to share you some kind of story which actually happened in our company probably a year ago. So this is a story when initiative got live and was transformed actually into a really helpful educational instrument. Before we will start, I would like to mention that my presentation will be helpful the same as for managers, QC leads who are planning to build similar program in own company, and this time for future leaders the same to get list of skills for faster promotion. A few words about myself. Thank you for this introduction. I don't know what should I add here, but probably today I'm the most Eastern speaker on the conference this year. Why? Because I was born and actually I live in Lviv, Ukraine. I hope you already visited it or probably plan to do it this year or even next year. My professional career of QC engineer started in 2008, and actually during the last 4 years I'm working as a quality control expert at Software Testing Center of Excellence. It is the next position of the QC leader in our company, and mostly I'm involved into project assessments, identifying strengths, weaknesses in QC processes, sharing best practices, and actually driving educational part in quality control direction. I have a lot of hobbies, but one of the favorites is cycle. So if you will see some person in mountains or in the street in Lviv, most probably it will be me. And prior we start, I would like probably to stop on QC leader position and its definition, as it will be important during the next slides. So I would like to dwell here and align with you guys. How do you think? Where is the leader here on this photo? I can give you actually a few seconds to think. But what do you think? Is it number one? Is it champion actually on finish line who left other competitors behind? Or probably it is this fan with the fire here, or even with this flag. To be honest, I think leader is not present on this photo. Leader is the one who led champion to the victory. Leader is the one who made fans' hearts beat faster. And if we come back to the IT, QC leader is the one actually who can build from the scratch and implement quality control approach in the project, who actually can ensure that developed product and services meet all customer requirements. This is the one who actually guarantee that the quality assurance and control processes meet organization standards in current conditions. And for sure, this is the one who can manage quality control team resources in the assigned projects. Or it can just the person who can lead on the whole team. Usually QC leader position is the next one after senior level. However, there are a lot of cases when senior and middle associates also performs QC leader role. So now, when we are aligned on QC leader position, probably let's move to the main topic of today's presentation, actually the QC leadership program. One of the reasons why I selected this topic for this year conference for the TestDive was actually lack of information about it in internet. So how to launch similar programs, actually from what we need to start, what take into consideration, and many other questions. For all of them, I will try to answer you today. And I'm going to share with you actually 6 main steps or stages which we passed and probably which will help you to launch similar program in your company. So let's start. Step number 1, or probably I would like to call it step 0. This is a problem definition, our classic problem definition. For sure, prior to development, deep diving into solutions, we need actually to understand what is the problem, what actually we would like to resolve. I would like to start probably with some official research which was made by microlearning platform Grow in 2016 for 500 managers. Actually, it was found that 44% of them felt unprepared for the manager role, and additionally, they answered that 87% of them wished to have more trainings before taking new role of the leader. When we made actually the similar research in our company, the numbers were similar. Moreover, one of the problem which we would like also to resolve, which we also define, was company scalability. So in our days, in our company, there are more than 1,200 quality control engineers. And one of the problem was how to prepare them for their first project. And for sure, we faced with the classic dilemma. It is impossible to become a good leader without the experience, and at the same time, it is impossible to get experience without taking leader role on the project. Step number 2, this is actually program goal statement. And for this step, I actually prepared a few goals which our program made to resolve and bring to the society. So let's start with the first one, and the main one, I believe. This is to provide our students, our candidates, our future QC leaders, to gain essential leadership knowledge and skills required for holding a leading role in their project. Number 2 here, the second goal will be to enhance leadership presence internally. It is also important to have such presence internally in company. The third goal of the program for QC leadership could be to enable candidates to gain much needed skills and knowledge to engage their work. At the same time, number 4 was to unlock candidates' potential through professional efforts. The fifth goal, which we actually realized and saw during the program, was to build QC leads community within company. So if it is also important in your company, this could be also the goal of launching such program. And the sixth item was move from reactive to proactive mode. I know this is probably one of the biggest dreams of each quality control engineers, that one day we will stop fighting with the fire and we will move to proactive mode. This is actually what our QC leadership program also resolve. Step number 3, this is actually forming requirements of the perfect candidate to our QC leadership program. So in our case, we selected the following ones, and probably let me try to explain you the reasons why we decided to go with them. So first of all, I would recommend you to involve people who already hold the position of senior plus level. Why it is important? Because such person has already enough experience and knowledge background to get new skills during the program and be better prepared for future role of QC leader. Number 2, this is actually demonstrating learning and business need to participate in the program. If person is not ready or do not want to get new knowledge, so probably any kind of educational programs will be a punishment and a necessary routine for such person. So first of all, there should be a desire from such person. Number 3, such candidate can apply gained knowledge and skills during the next 6 months after graduation. Why it is important? Because you know that the more time we spend without using our knowledge, involve them into practice, they will actually disappear. So that is why probably I encourage you tomorrow on Friday talk with your managers about launching such similar program in your company and try to do it. Number 4 of the requirements for such program for the person, this is actually readiness to dedicate time for studying. If we are talking about our program of preparing future leaders, it takes 6 hours per week for study. And for sure, candidates should have time to get all skills and to combine like professional work and personal life, and also have some time for study for sure. And the last requirement, which is applicable for our program, which we actually use, this is actually a 6 months of experience in the company. Why it is important? Because if new team member will join your company, for sure there should be some time when this person will get into all the corporative, all the company procedures. And actually, I would recommend to wait. I usually recommend to such person to wait with the program and probably provide application form during the next group launch. This is actually all the requirements to our candidates. And now probably let's move on. On this stage, I would like to tell you that we already defined the problem statement, the problem definition. We already know which goals we would like to resolve by this program. And for sure, we have the QC, future QC leaders, and we have candidates who already spent time for it. And now this is actually time to prepare program curriculum. So what it is, this is actually kind of topics we want to provide to our candidates. And during this stage, I would actually encourage you to remember just one thing, that it is very easy to create program which covers everything. And the most difficult it is actually to prepare the program which will cover only necessary things. So how we resolve the issue in our company. We talked with the most mature QC leaders. We organized some internal research, and we decided and select only the most valuable things, the most valuable areas, which for sure on 100% will be applicable for any projects where our future leader will work. So let's start, and on the left side you can see we have our hard skills. Actually, we selected the following areas to cover in our program, and the first one is planning estimation. What does this area covers? Actually, this area covers the following items like how to organize test processes on the on the project from the scratch, how to create test plan, test strategy when it is necessary, how to estimate testing activities on the project, how to define testers, team composition, and so on. Another valid and very important area, this is monitoring and control. So during this stage, we are teaching and providing skills to our candidates, how to gather metrics, how to select proper metrics in your current situation, how to make some corrective actions based on the monitoring. And for sure, this is also working on the risks, product and projects. This is also reporting, how to report your status, how to build transparency of your team. And for sure, this is extreme ownership. Extreme ownership probably could be even a separate topic for the conference, so I will not stop here you. The third item in hard skills area, which I would like to mention, this is test design and execution. This area, actually, we put there some skills, we put there some topics which are related to test design techniques from QC leader perspective. This is also quality attributes, this is also working with the requirements and so on, and proper execution, building test environment, and other related things. And the last topics which we select, this is actually test automation essentials. This area includes attributes that showing necessary of launching test automation on the project and how to define where to start. So this is actually all from the hard skills. So you can see here that we do not put like testing types and so on. As I mentioned previously, it is really important not to try to put everything you know or everything which could happen with your QC leader in future, but just only items and topics which definitely on 100% will be applicable and will be helpful for the future QC leader. And for sure, you can see here a blank page on the right side, and it is not intentional. On the right side, actually, we have soft skills, which actually differentiate quality control leader from other positions and are really vital and important in QC leadership program. Actually, we decided to cover here the next areas. For sure, first of it, this is effective communication. What it is, this is capability to communicate with technical and non-technical people, proper communication of quality status, for example, when to diplomacy to say no for your customer or to your to some other from management and so on. Communication of specific inconsolable cases to client and other items. The second one is personal and team effectiveness. So during this stage, we also take into consideration such things like prioritization, time management, decision making, and for sure this is task delegation, how to work effectively on such things. The third item is people management. This is not about micromanagement. This is mostly about mentorship, development of your team members, of your future team. This is motivation. This is building ramp-up plans for newcomers which are planning to join your team in the future. And for sure, what is the more important, how to actually organize and conduct such things, such simple things as we think this is one-on-one with your associates. And the last thing from soft skills, this is actually leadership skills. So what items we prefer to teach here? This is assertiveness, this is negotiation, and for sure this is conflict resolution. And for sure, what I would recommend you and what actually worked, and we also see it in our life, this is actually to build program and mix both soft and hard skills. In our case, we usually conduct one hard skills session. This is usually Monday or Tuesday, and another session, this is related to soft skills, and it can be Thursday or Friday. So this is it about program curriculum or the content which we are using, which we are teaching during the QC leadership program. And now looks like all steps are behind and we are ready to program launch. However, there is still one small thing, but which should be actually performed in advance. And now I'm talking actually about educational materials preparation. Here I would like actually to provide special thanks to my colleague Denis Hodovany, who takes ownership on it and prepared appropriate training, workshops, homeworks, and other educational materials. Actually, during the QC leadership program, it is really important just not to provide lectures to our future leaders, but to discuss with them appropriate topics by using different educational techniques like workshop and live discussions. In our programs we divided these materials into like online and offline, and we will also talk about it a little bit later. Up to 10 students in group. This is actually the perfect quantity of future leaders in one group. Why it is important? Because this is the most effective way of study. Why such number was selected? Because if your group is really small, when you have actually a chance to talk to each of them separately, to define what is their problem, try to help them to resolve some issue, check their homeworks properly, and so on. Core program within 1 quarter or 10 weeks. This is a period which we actually select, and this actually works. This is the most optimal period for study for our colleagues. Actually, as I mentioned previously, to balance between current tasks, getting new skills, and for sure have enough time for personal life. Work with a trainer. This is also important. So if you are building or launching similar programs in your company, just do not build it in the manner which we had previously in the institute, when the trainer come to the group, provide lectures, tell them bye-bye, and that is all. No. We actually changed such approach, and in our program we are using like more proactive ways of how it looks like. For example, if during the first lecture we are teaching our quality control leaders how to prepare test strategy. Definitely homework will be to prepare test strategy on their like own project, then to share it with everyone, discuss it, what was good, what was probably could be improved, and so on. And actually trainer also helped to resolve some issue, helped and provide some best practices how to create this test strategy from the scratch, and help to develop and actually implement it and bring it to the life. Study if each week, offline and individually. For sure, prior to the situation with the COVID, we have also offline studying when we all together gathering in the offices, but now we move to online mode. So each week there is like 2 sessions when we are gathering together, and among the models there is also some homeworks, so our students should also have time to conduct them, to perform them, and to be prepared for the next like session. And it looks like that is all, but not all. What is probably really important, this is actually program evaluation. So how we evaluate and know that our program is really important, we evaluate candidates, potential candidates or employees' performance prior to the program. Uh, we already know which candidate should get like additional skills or additional knowledge on some particular topic, and we are trying to provide in such option some additional information for such person. We also take into consideration the feedback from a training during this study. So we analyze how this person performs during those 10 weeks. Was this person like changed? Was this person tried to use appropriate skills on personal like project, on own project, on professional life, and so on. And after that, at the end, we are actually requesting managers feedback in 3 months after program completion. So we are like studying 10 weeks. That is all. There are like no presentation. There are like no test, final test, and so on. No, we just leaving this person, and in 3 months we are asking like manager of this person to provide some feedback on performance of this person, was something changed, and so on. This is actually all the 6 steps which we are needed to launch program, QC leadership program. And this is probably the last one of the last slides for today. This is all my teammates who actually helped me to make this story happen last year. So they helped with preparation materials, conducting trainings, and so on. And for sure, I would like to thank all of them. And without their help, this story will not wouldn't receive the life and wasn't transformed into reality, into really helpful educational instrument. That is actually all from my side. I know that I'm the last speaker for today. So here are some contacts where you can find me, and for sure I will try to help you in case you will decide to build similar similar programs in your company. And probably now I'm ready to the questions. So if you still do not ask them, please hurry up and we will continue talk.
All right. Thank you, Andrei, for that very interesting presentation. Very informative. Um, Yes, right now is time for questions and answers. If anyone has any questions, please go to Discord and under Andrei's channel, ask your questions. Uh, in the meantime, we have one question for you, and that is, what was the biggest challenge in improving leadership skills on your career path?
Yeah, sorry, there was some echo. Okay, I believe you should hear me well. So one of the challenges which I already mentioned was not to grab and just do not try to provide as much as possible skills and so on to the program, but just to prepare and select only the most valuable things which could be and which could be actually helpful on the project. So I would call this is one of the biggest challenge.
Okay, great. And also maybe one more question. How effective is your program in your company?
Uh, yeah, sure. I can also answer to this question. We graduate this year already 40 graduations. So we already have 40 students which passed successfully our program, and I'm really happy. And I think that till the end of the year there will be up to 70 or 80. We are still working on that.
Okay, great, super. Think we have some users typing some questions. We could wait a couple of more seconds, see which user writes the first question. I think there are two of them writing.
Okay, let's see. Let's wait.
Okay, we got one question. Let's imagine we want to have such a program in a company. Which arguments would you use to, or you had to provide to convince management?
Yeah, I got it. So I already mentioned it during my goals, which should be defined, but I would also tell that this is actually company scalability. With such program, you are able to grow your company, you prepare the leaders for the jobs, and for sure, the person who are better prepared for their first leadership, for their first execution of leader role will win, will be better on the project than if we will get only the person with the theoretical skills, probably with the theoretical knowledge. So you should just come to your manager, make a screenshot during my presentation, or I hope it will be also uploaded in a few days. Take it, show it, and together talk. And for sure, it is it is really effective. And with the leaders, you cannot just tell them and provide that. Uh, Please go to the Google, read some books and so on, and we will use it. No, it doesn't work with the leaders for sure. We actually tried and it wasn't helpful. With the leader, with the future leaders, there needs to be a different approach. So there should be a different approach in education. You should talk with such person. You should provide them more practice tasks, and for sure you should also pay attention into soft skills. So because not all the middle or seniors guys can be transformed into future leaders. This is also a valid and very important item. So pay attention to the soft skills.
Okay, great, awesome. Thank you for that answer. Um, I don't know if we will have time for one more question, but if anyone else does have any more questions, please do write them on Discord. Andrei will try to answer them as soon as he can. So once again, Andrei, thank you very much for your presentation, for sharing your knowledge. It was really informative. So thank you for sharing.
Thank you. Have a nice day, everyone, and bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.